joy of waking up every morning, having a job to go to is often unshared by those that are jobless. Unfortunately, the framework of creating jobs, otherwise called entrepreneurship, is seldomly a scarce resource in many of our environs. When it comes to young people, joblessness makes them disgruntled, disillusioned, at most getting worse when intoxicated with drugs and substance abuse, creating a vulnerable catchment precursor for chaos at the slightest moment. In 2012, following the 2011 elections in Uganda and the subsequent runaway inflation, a lot of young people got on fire and jumped onto a political bandwagon of the Activists for Change, popularly known as A4C Walk to Work. Why they participated was lack of jobs precipitated by a thought that Uganda government had the onus of providing these badly needed jobs. Vision Group, through the New Vision newspaper, realized this and thought of a remedy crafted into taking the discussion about youth innovation and lack of jobs from its newspaper pullout called Pakasa into active engagement with those that have succeeded in doing something out of their innovations and can offer mentorship. Vision Group CEO Robert Kamshenga talks about the Pakasa initiative with smiles and explains why youth engagement is that important.
We have a national responsibility, especially people in my position. People in my position who are incredibly privileged, who have access to media platforms. We should use that privileged position to help others who are less fortunate to be able to advance themselves. It so happens that today it is the young people in Uganda who are desperate to find their way in life. It's also selfish on the part of Vision Group, because when you have a young population that's gainfully employed, then you have a community of consumers to whom you can sell your media properties in the future. So you must invest in the success of that social category.
Helping young people realize their dreams requires a lot of resources, but building of synergies by way of bringing on board willing stakeholders is one such a step in the right direction. This is how the Korean Embassy in Uganda, through His Excellency Park Jong-da, the Korean ambassador, and KOIC, got on board and offered to the Pakasa winners through a capacity building for young entrepreneurs program.
What is important for a country like Uganda is to nurture creative businessmen to become successful entrepreneurs, because Uganda has many things that you can take advantage of. The wonderful natural resources, wonderful people, and very good potential for development. And we need to motivate the young businessmen to become true entrepreneurs. And because Korea succeeded in nurturing such business people, industrializing from the scratch, we see many commonalities in terms of the background. So that's why we're very much interested in being the sponsor of the Pakasa Forum.
On October 18th, 2016, a team of 10 Pakasa winners and 2 journalists set off from Vision Group headquarters in Kampala's industrial area for a trip to Seoul, South Korea. They were flagged off by His Worship George Fred Kagimo, the mayor of Mukono municipality. He appealed to the winners to go and learn and come back to share their knowledge with those left back home. On arrival at Achin International Airport, they were received by officials from KOIC and were taken directly to KOIC headquarters, where they spent a night. The following morning, the team had interface with Korean Culture Society, where they were inducted into Korean language. Professor Major Ham, a professor of Graduate School of Kaehing University in Korea, shared her knowledge and experience on business administration for startup with the young people.
Value for money, I stress that we need to really take an action based on the calculated risk, and by weighing all those options, analyze the risks and values, and you have to take into account all those risk factors to calculate your return on investment.
She also envisions that if young people keep their focus, then a brighter future is within their reach. To understand more on where Koreans have come from, Kenyo-hee, manager International Construction Plant Association, had this wise counsel of course, emphasizing the works and efforts of the founding father of Korea's development pact and his zeal for working together with other people with whom they share a common ideological orientation in what came to be a 5-year economic development plan with an export-oriented industrialization policy.
We didn't have infrastructure at that time. After the Cold War, like Korea War, every infrastructure was gone by the war and combat. So we had to build everything again. And the President Park Chung-hee was thinking that that's very critical to develop the country's economy. So not just only Seoul or like Busan, the metropolitan areas, but also other part of Korea, like suburb, rural area, because all the balancing the development of the country is very critical, very important, because the balanced development will make everybody grow together, and so that became a one axis to develop the whole Korea.
He urged Ugandan youths to use the available agriculture resources to build Uganda through not only self-help but also subsidies.
Uganda entrepreneurs, I would say, should focus not just only local market but for the export. Not just only Africa nations between, but not just only among African nations but like abroad. I know you guys have like strong agriculture products such as coffee and good leathers as well. Maybe you can begin with the low-level industry products such as clothing, and it will grow and develop the local economy to go to next level, like heavy industry.